in John Hopkins. They said Bermuda has sent us a dead man. I know I was there that night. I was there through the process and witnessed myself what miracles are made of. And miracles are made of tragedies. Tragedies that gives God opportunity to show his greatness. Put your hands together for Wendell Eve. You're going to hear a letter read that I think will set the stage for the testimony that you're going to hear from Wendell.
This is a letter sent by one of the surgeons that worked on Wendell, Brother Wendell. To Mr. and Mrs. Wendell Eve. My insight on the events that occurred involving Wendell in April 2017 are as outlined below. The aorta is the only blood vessel in our body that carries blood from our heart to all our organs, muscles, and tissues. An aortic dissection is a tear in that critical vessel. When a patient suffers an aortic dissection, the damaged aorta can rupture. The risk is imminent, and the risk of dying from the aortic dissection is 2% per hour, such that 50% of patients have succumbed by 24 hours after the dissection occurs. Wendell, by the same percentages, should have died before arriving to Johns Hopkins. When I met Wendell, the tear in his aorta, the aortic dissection, was even worse than initial reports. The aortic dissection had now extended to the carotid arteries, feeding the brain, and he went into a coma. The dissection was also extending into the belly, and his intestines were dying, and his legs were also starved of blood flow. Any of these additional stresses on his system, never mind the risk of his aorta rupturing at any moment, can be fatal themselves. In the next days, he would go through a series of staged operations to address the aortic dissection, recover his brain, kidneys, guts, and legs. This was hard work by the nurses, ICU team headed by Dr. Whitman, and the surgeons, Dr. Conte and Black. His ongoing recovery with the rehabilitation nurses, therapists, and doctors led him from this crisis back to Bermuda for a lifetime of living still ahead of him. As a surgeon, I know Wendell had only single-digit chance of recovery when I met him at Hopkins. But add in the other challenges to his system that I mentioned, and it takes single-digit chance down by 10%, then another 10%, then another 10%, and so on, and so on, and so on. That being said, where do you draw the line about a lucky save and a miracle of God? I don't know. This has to be a matter of faith. Perhaps Bishop Lamb can speak to the benefit of a lifetime of faith. For me as a surgeon, in 25 years of being around medicine, I still believe in miracles. And Wendell is one of those miracles in my immediate memory. Signed Dr. James H. Black, MD, FACS.